Alright guys, Zakk Royce of Blues Brothers Guide Service here. I'm just going to show you a little bit of how we do things out here on Lake Gaston. I get a whole lot of questions about mainly how we troll for catfish, since that's primarily how we do things. Right now, I've got 6 lines already in. Right here I've got a planer board out. As you can see, that yellow board is out there off the back corner. I've got one on the bottom back here. I've got a slip bobber rig right here in the middle. Got another bottom rig off this back corner, and I've already got my 2 planer boards off of that side. There you can see those 2 orange things floating. Those are my 2 planers off that side. And what I'm going to do is show you how to get the planer boards out, how you hook them up and everything. So I'm going to put this last line out, and that'll make 7 rods in the water total. And everything will be nice and spread out because of those planer boards, where you don't have to worry about getting tangled as much, and also have a much better spread. That one's getting a bite right now, matter of fact. But anyway, I'm going to try to go and get this out there. So at the time I'm fishing suspended, I'm not fishing on the bottom. So I'm going to clip that planer board on. Basically think of it as clipping on a cork or a bobber. Where you clip it on will be the depth that your bait's running. Right now, with my bait here at the bottom of this rod, it's a 7.5 foot rod, somewhere around 8 foot right now with it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip that planer board on about 12, 13 foot above where my bait is. So I'm going to let out a little line. So I just counted off 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And basically by doing that, if I clip that board on up here at the tip of the rod, from there to the where the bait is, roughly 13 foot. These planer boards, these are my signature planer boards. I've used a lot of others in the past and just had trouble getting them to really give me a nice spread, especially going at slower speeds, being that we mostly go half a mile an hour. I needed a board that would really get my baits out even at slow speeds and using heavier baits. So finally designed these, and they do a really great job of that. Really easy to use, just like most planer boards. You've got a snap swivel on the back. Just thread that on your line. And here's something that it's just a preference for me. The clips I use, they have a little peg inside that prevents the board from coming off or tripping when a fish gets on or anything like that. And the reason for that being is if I'm dragging baits on the bottom and I get snagged to break a rig off, traditional clips such as these right here, there's nothing to keep the line in, so the line will come out and your board will just float away. Then you got to reel everything up and go get that board back. So that's the reason I use these clips. And you just take the line, stick it in there behind that peg, and then you start letting it out. Like I said, roughly 13 foot above the bait at this time. And what you want to do is just keep a little bit of tension on the spool as you're letting it out, and that'll just prevent it from drifting over into your other lines. That'll keep it going right down the gap. I usually try to get them out a little bit, so staggered a little bit to where they're not all right there together, in case you get a fish on and it runs sideways. Hopefully you can go under or over the other rod. Now when I'm fishing on the bottom, I usually don't let these boards out so far, but being that I'm fishing suspended right now, I like to get them a little farther away from the boat. See if he's keeping just enough tension to help it pull to the right enough to not go into my bottom rig that's right here going off this corner. As soon as you put tension on it, it starts going out to the right. Get out there a little bit more. And today it's a nice calm day, so that makes it a lot easier, but they do work even if it's windy. If you're going with the wind, that's going to blow the planer boards with the boat, so they're not going to go out quite as far. If you use a trolling motor and the wind's not too strong, you can go against the wind and it'll actually help you get the boards out even farther. Same with current. If you're going against current, it's really going to pull those boards out even more. Alright, I've got that far enough out. So as you see, when I start reeling, just putting some tension on it, that board starts swimming over. So I let it out a little bit farther than I'm gonna want the board to be. That way I can pull on the board and get it to go out to the side a little more before I put in the rod on it. So that's pretty good right there. I've got that board there, and this one that I just put out is right in the middle of that board, and that slip barber is in the middle. And it's plenty far enough away from that bottom rig. So to everybody that's asked me, you know, what's the purpose of the planer boards, how they work, hopefully that explains a lot of it and shows you there's a big advantage to using them, especially in the summer. The fish are moving a lot. The more water you can cover is always better, but in the summer I feel like it's even more important. As you can see, I mean, this is about the best spread you could possibly get. I'm covering what, you know, 3 or 4 boats would without planer boards, so hard to beat it.